hospitals. Kasi parang yung una pong batas, parang wala akong pangil. Pangalawa, pag sa private, wala na, parang untouchable na yung hospital kasi they're not covered. Ang problem na dito, Madam Chair, ay kulang po kasi yung mga free wards sa mga private hospitals, yun po, maging yung DOH hospitals po hindi sapat. Karamihan po ng mga Pilipino, hindi po makapagpagamot ng may bayad. Gusto po libre, kahit na may PhilHealth, hindi po sumasapat. So the only solution is siguro, either taasan natin yung mga free ward natin, ganun din sa private hospitals natin, taasan yung free ward. Para kasi, Madam Chair, pag pumunta sa government hospital, isabi nyo na kagad, sasabihin, ay puno na po kami, ay pay ward na lang. So, no choice siya, pupunta siya sa pay ward, ay kung emergency na, lalo na sa mga private. This is dapat ito, Madam Chair, pati yung siguro sa private na rin, sama si ASEC, dahil sa loophole na ito, siguro we include na rin, pati sa, kasi pag emergency dapat titignan natin, di po ba? Kung kunwari si Serian lang, wala naman palang pambayad, pupunta pa sa private ward, hindi na dapat siya covered. Pero kung emergency, life and death, di kailangan siya tanggapin, the only bed na meron is a pay ward, siguro kailangan ng intindihin, Madam Chair.
Agree, Senator Sherwin. And in fact, yung anti-hospital deposit law really is supposed to cover lalo na yung mga emergency cases na hindi mapagkaitan ng emergency care yung pasyente dahil lang dedemandan pa siya ng deposit bago siya alagaan. But as we've seen sa implementation ng batas na ito, and ito nga yung nag-provide ng Sumbungan Board, nagpapakita siya ng further areas for amendment. At isa na nga po itong anti-hospital detention bills natin na sinimulan ng komentan ng ating mga resource persons kung papaano ma-improve. Also in the matter of the penalties.
Tama, Madam Chair.
Made violations.
Kasi Madam Chair, ngayon fine. Dapat fine and imprisonment. Kasi mo, fine or po yata Fine or. Kailangan po siguro may fine na, may imprisonment pa para matibay-tibay, Madam Chair.
Salamat, Senator Sherwin. We will certainly consider that. Sorry. Nadagdagan ng 2 letters. Naku! I apologize, Senator Earl.
Alam ko, Madam Chair, kasi sobrang stress ito. Senado ngayong linggo na ito. Very stressful po.
Salamat sa unawa, Senator Erwin. Okay. Thank you. Balikan ko po si Councilor De La Cruz. Sir, so observable din no na gumastos ng 4 million pesos yung ospital para ma-settle yung kaso. So, halos katumbas ito ng multa no nung ating panukalang batas. So, kaya naman pala. Pero bakit kailangan pang humantong sa in the earlier period sa hospital detention ng mga pasyente nila? So, mari po bang tanungin, paano nagkaroon ng settlement?
Well, Your Honor, aside from filing the criminal cases, administrative cases with DOH and the Commission on Human Rights, we also looked into their business permit compliances, yung building po mismo nila, kung may mga violations. So nagpatong-patong na po kasi yung violations ng ACE Hospital and the negative the backlash that they received from the public because this was made very, very much public. These cases were covered by the major news agencies on television, in newspapers. So malaki na po ang impact sa kanila. And we also filed criminal cases against the responsible officers, the president, the owners. So malaki na po talaga ang damage sa kanila, reputational. And kaya po they just opted to compromise, Your Honor.
And anong naging papel ng LGU dun sa settlement?
First, Your Honor, we provided legal services. In Valenzuela City, we have a legal aid clinic that I head. We provide free legal services to indigents. So we provided them the lawyers. I myself, I appear for them in court in the fiscal's office, CHR and DOH. Second, we paid for their bills, Your Honor. All their hospital bills were shouldered by Senator Sherwin Gatchalian and the LGU. So we provided them, our social workers also provided them with psychological treatments because of the trauma that they experienced. So the DOH imposed fines against them. The DOH found them guilty of the administrative charges that we filed against them. So the pressure was all around, Your Honor. Public, the media, the DOH, CHR, LGU, and we threatened to close them down.
Pero paano exactly lumitaw yung option ng settlement? Kanina nung una kong tinanong parang may misteryo parang slight nagbuntong hininga kayo. I mean, was it an idea of the LGU? Was it offered by the hospital at winelcome ng patients at ng LGU? I mean, just in point
Yes,
of
Your
fact.
I serve as their lawyer in the 4 cases. The first, in one of the cases, because this was committed way back 2017, the court dismissed the case because of prescription. And the 3 other cases are still pending. May yung stressful na po kasi para dun sa complainants natin yung nangyayari because of the continuous na trial settings. And one of the cases was dismissed on the ground of prescription. So we opened the discussions for payment of damages, Your Honor.
Yung we is yung mga pasyente
LGU.
at kayo,
Yes,
LGU.
po. LGU,
Okay po.
the patients, and me as their lawyer, Your Honor.
Alright, so all together. And ito po'y, paano to naaayon? Naayon ba to sa local ordinance ng city na kontra sa hospital detention?
The fines, they were never charged the fines, Your Honor, because all cases were dismissed against them. This the damages paid for the families of the victims, Your Honor. Doon po lahat napunta.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Senator Erwin.
tanong ko lang si Councilor Walter, Honorary Walter. Sir, ba't po umabot ng ganun? Tama po ba pagkadinig ko, umabot ng 4 million? 4 million ang ano ho yun?
4 million, the victims received 1 million pesos each, Your Honor, in the form of compensation damages, Your Honor.
Pero magkano po ba ang dapat bayaran nila sa ospital lang?
The first victim, 500,000. Second victim, 556. Third victim, 275. Fourth victim, 777,000. All of which are covered, were paid for by the city government, Your Honor.
Madam Chair, kasi ang problema dito, merong ibang ospital na taking advantage. Ang ginagawa niya, pag hindi nakabayad, di susulat nga, Madam Chair, ng promissory note. Ang problema, pag nadidelay, nagkakaroon ng interest. Yun ho, may mga ospital ho akong alam dito sa Metro Manila na pinapatungan ay interest daw. Dapat po, wala na hong interest. So dapat take note po, Department of Health, yung mga ganito po mga reklamo. Wala na ho pambayad, hihingan mo pa ng interest kasi 2-3 buwan na. Ang masakla pa, Madam Chair, kumukuha pa yung ospital na yung para sa credit card, yung maniningil. Tatawagan ka na umaga, tanghali, gabi, magbayad ka na. Ha? Kung hindi, didemanda ka namin. Tama po si Honorable De La Cruz na stressful po ito sa pasyente. Paano po kung na-confine siya dahil sa heart failure? Pagkatapos, paglabas niya, may mangungulit sa kanya every day, 3 times a day. Madam Chair.
Yes, Senator Erwin. Asik sa Kilabon, may na-monitor ba ang DOH na ganitong mga kaso na pati yung pending hospital bills ay pinapatawa ng interes at hinaharas pa yung pasyente at yung mga pamilya na magbayad?
So far, Your Honor, we do not have any case that has that hospital impose interest. As I've said, Your Honor, when we write these hospitals, they immediately comply and accept the promissory note. And upon verification with these patients, they did not relate to us that the hospitals impose interest. So we do not have that particular case, Your Honor. As of now.
But please take note, may anecdotal evidence na kayo mula sa hearing natin from Senator Erwin that there are hospitals doing these practices. Siguro, Sen. Erwin, pwede nating tignan dun sa pag-finalize nitong anti-hospital detention law at pati sa magiging IRRs nga on the part of the executive na aware sa ganitong mga practices at dapat ay mapigilan ito. At kung gagawin pa rin, ay maparusahan din.
Tama, Madam Chair. I think we received that a couple of years ago, Madam Chair, sa province naman, dito sa Luzon. So, nagulat nila sila at lumalaki, may interest daw. Madam Chair, if you would, I would just like to ask quick question po sa ating Private Hospital Association, if they're represented here.
Yes, they are, Senator Erwin. Attorney Subia.
Good afternoon po.
Yes, Madam Chair, Attorney Subia. Yung mga hospital po ninyo, pinapaalalahanan nyo na may batas po tayo na ganito, ano po? Bagamat wala pang pangil masyado, hindi kagaya ng ipapasa natin dito yung kay Senadora Ontiveros. Pero alam naman ho na hospital ninyo, ng mga cashier ninyo, ng mga accounting ninyo na may batas, kailangan pakawalan yung pasyente at wag i-hold kung anong meron siya sa kamay niya at saka promissory note po pwede na po. Are they informed like lahat po ng members niyo nationwide?
Your Honors, way back in 2007, when Republic Act 9439 was passed into law, the private hospitals, together with the Philippine College of Hospital Administrators, one of their topics then was the anti-detention law. And I was one of the speakers in 2007 who reiterated to all private hospitals the significance of the law. So actually, most of the hospitals are observing this law. Kaya ang mga hospital merong social welfare department para yung mga indigent o kaya yung tapos sa budget ay tinuturuan, especially now, how they can avail of these guarantee letters from the DOH at sa mga DSWD, PCSO. So that is one of the projects ng bawat private hospitals para hindi maipit yung pasyente. When I did the lecture in 2007, ang 9439 excludes the private rooms and higher classification. So nagkakaroon doon ng issue kasi if the patient is accommodated in a private room, hindi siya covered ng anti-detention law because this only applies to the ward or the pre-ward. So doon nagkaroon ng konting problema. But by and large, I would say that private hospitals are complying with all the requirements of the law. It's more of an exception, probably magkaroon lang ng lapses sa implementation ng batas noong 9439. But I myself, in some of our hospitals, I do lectures under the existing law that we should never detain any patient. Once the doctor has given the order that may go home, then they have to discharge the patient. Ang kailangan lang naman, under the 9439, mag-execute sila ng promissory notes with a mortgage, coupled with mortgage, or guarantee letter, guarantor na co-maker. Ang naging issue ko lang dito ay we submitted the position paper ng PHAPI doon sa section 2 sa amendment ng bill, Senate bill. Nakalagay doon, in lieu of the mortgage or yung guarantee ng isang co-maker, okay na yung mga guarantee letters from the government. Ang i-discharge ng pasyente. Ang issue lang ng private hospital, yung mga letters of guarantee coming from DSWD, DOH, hindi naman kagad yung nakukuha ng pasyente o ng relatives ng pasyente or discharge na yung patient. So, ang request namin, huwag tanggalin yung mortgage saka yung co-maker kasi bago dumating yung guarantee letters ng gobyerno, kailangan na naming i-discharge yung pasyente. Otherwise, we will be violating this law. So, sana wag matanggal yon under the amendment ng Section 2. Pangalawa, yung kung pwede i-add doon sa mortgage yung Republic Act 11057